Do you ever feel an overwhelming sense of anxiety the moment you're alone? Does the silence make your mind race, bringing up fears, regrets, and everything you've been avoiding? You're not alone, but it feels that way, doesn't it? Hi, I'm Anga, a multi award winning trauma expert and healing innovator in subconscious reprogramming. I've helped hundreds of people transform anxiety and find deep emotional freedom. Today, I will guide you through three different points: why solitude triggers anxiety at a subconscious level, how attachment wounds create this pattern, and five advanced techniques to calm your nervous system, shift subconscious beliefs, and cultivate peace. When you're alone, does your mind dig up everything you've been avoiding? Like regrets from the past and worries about the future, and fear that the silence will swallow you whole. It is as if being alone turns into a battleground where your own thoughts overwhelm you. This isn't just a random discomfort, it is a deep rooted survival response. Your brain associates being alone with emotional dangers, triggering anxiety and flooding your system with stress hormones. Your brain is wired to seek connection. When you're alone, your amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for detecting threats, goes on high alert. It perceives solitude as emotional abandonment, triggering fight or flight mode, even when there is no real danger. If you grew up in an environment where emotional support was inconsistent, your nervous system learned that being alone equals abandonment. And this belief becomes hardwired into your subconscious, making solitude feel unsafe even in adulthood. When you avoid being alone, here is what is happening. You become overly reliant on external distractions and validation. You stay in unfulfilling relationships out of fear of abandonment, and you lose trust in your own inner strength. Over time, this emotional avoidance turns into chronic stress and burnout, keeping you in survival mode. And studies show that prolonged loneliness increases the risk of heart disease, weakens the immune system, and even accelerates cognitive decline. But here's the truth: you don't have to stay stuck in this cycle. When you heal the fear of being alone, everything changes. You cultivate emotional resilience and you break free from toxic patterns. And you develop an unshakable confidence in yourself. And being alone becomes a source of power, not pain. Just imagine feeling calm, centered, and deeply at peace, even in the silence. Here are 5 advanced techniques to break free from solitude anxiety. Let's start with deep subconscious healing strategies. Step 1. We have to regulate your nervous system with breath work. When anxiety spikes, your nervous system shifts into survival mode. And the solution is to use the 4-4-6 breathwork technique. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds. This slows down your heart rate, activates your parasympathetic nervous system, and signals safety to your brain. Let's rewire subconscious beliefs through language shifts, because your subconscious mind listens to your inner dialogue. Shift your narrative. Instead of saying, I hate being alone, say, this is my special time to reconnect with myself. This subtle shift in language begins to reprogram neural pathways and change emotional associations. Anchor safety through visualization and emotional anchoring, because your brain doesn't differentiate between real and imagined experiences. Close your eyes and visualize a safe, nurturing space where you feel deeply loved and supported. Anchor that feeling by placing your hand on a heart and breathe it in. And please repeat this process because it rewires your subconscious to associate being alone with safety. Engage your senses to ground yourself in the present. When anxiety spikes, bring yourself back to the present with a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. 5 things you see, 4 things you feel, 3 things you hear, 2 things you smell, 1 thing you taste. This pulls you out of anxious thoughts and grounds you in safety. Develop a self-soothing ritual to rewire emotional safety. Routine builds emotional stability. Create a self-soothing ritual that anchors safety in solitude. You can do like sound baths to regulate brain waves, guided meditations to calm the mind, and journaling to process emotions. This conditions your brain to associate being alone with peace and comfort. When you master being alone, you cultivate deep self-trust, emotional resilience, and an unshakable inner peace. If you no longer feel solitude, it is because being alone becomes a source of strength, a way to connect to your inner self and to listen to yourself and to become friends with yourself. So, if you're ready to break free from anxiety and rewire your subconscious for lasting peace, I invite you to download my free Anxiety Reset Kit and begin your transformation. Have a wonderful day.